Daniel Radcliffe once again proving he is one of my favorite actors working today, and he needs to be in more comedies. Hey, movie fans. So, Weird, the Al Yankovic story is the newest comedy from the mind of Weird Al, also known as the first time any of you have heard of the Roku channel or any of the movies provided on that service. First time I ever heard of it. And let's be honest, if there's more movies like this on the service, I'll be checking it out. I don't know if I'll be sticking around with Roku channel, but let's talk about Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Now, going into this, I was super amped for multiple reasons. One, I love Weird Al so much. Just like anybody with a sensible brain should. Weird Al is just the best. Honestly, if I ever did karaoke in my life, my go-to song would have to be Weird Al's The Saga Begins over American Pie. Yeah, I just love Weird Al that much. So I was already predisposed to liking a Weird Al movie. Then you throw in Daniel Radcliffe, who I really also love and is slowly but surely building a really great post-Harry Potter career resume. Like, Swiss Army Man's great. I really love The Woman in Black. I really actually liked him a lot in earlier this year's The Lost City. He was really good as the villain in that. So you cast Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al, and that should tell you all you need to know about this movie, because Daniel Radcliffe bears no resemblance to Weird Al in real life. That's not the point for this movie. If you're expecting a biopic, that's not what this movie is. This movie is not Walk the Line. This is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. This is the biopic that Weird Al deserves. This is a Weird Al story through and through. But it's so wacky and wonderful and Weird Al. Like, honestly, that's all I can really say to describe it is definitely Weird Al. If you are a Weird Al person, if you like his sense of humor, I think this movie's right up your alley. First and foremost, we gotta talk about Daniel Radcliffe because he is giving 125% in this. He is going so balls to the wall nuts in this, and I love every minute of it. Daniel Radcliffe has such brilliant comedic timing. I think the first time I really noticed that was in Harry Potter, shocker, but in the great scene in Half-Blood Prince when they're doing the Aragog funeral and he's just like, and the pincers, after he's taking the Felix Felicis and he's like all hopped up on caffeine. I thought that was one of the funniest scenes. Then he was great in Lost City as being a comedic talent. He is so perfect for what they're going for in this movie, which is a hyper stylized, super fictitious version of Weird Al. Do not expect this to be a biopic by any standard measure. Like, there's some aspects to this that are true to the Weird Al mythos, so to speak, of like, yeah, he did have an early relationship with Dr. Demento in terms of Dr. Demento being the one to discover him and bring him up in his career, and Madonna was involved with his career at one point, but not how the movie portrays it. Like, they have met and they've had experiences, but that's not what it is in this movie. It's something completely different. Also, there's a point in this movie, I'm not going to say what it is, but if you didn't know that this was a parody, there's definitely a point towards the tail end that you're going, oh, this is a parody movie. The movie opens up with Funny or Die Productions, and yeah, this whole movie feels like a Funny or Die production. It was supposed to be based off of that trailer or skit that they did years ago, and they were trying to turn it into a movie. It took forever, and this is what they finally turned out. And this feels like a Funny or Die production in the best possible sense. Besides Daniel Radcliffe's just really charming and charismatic and hilarious performance as Weird Al, this is cameos galore. I can't tell you who all is in this, primarily because I can't remember, because there's so many people. Some are obvious choices via some previous connections to Weird Al, but others, they keep you on your toes going, is that who I think it is? Like, there's one person that is a waiter in a scene, and lean over to Heather, I'm just going, that's that person. Really? They spent, I'm sure, a decent amount of money getting this person, and you would not notice that it's that person any other time. Why are they in a Weird Al movie? Oh yeah, it's a Weird Al movie. Are you gonna honestly say no to that? Probably not. This movie is bonkers. It is cliche. It is, I would say it's predictable, but it's not. It's cliche. It's self-aware to the fullest extent. It's a satire. It's a biopic. it is poking holes and poking fun at the recent trend of like Rocket Man or Bohemian Rhapsody of, yes, this is their life, overly dramatized to the nth degree. Let's just say, the people that Weird Al fights, yes, fights at some points. I don't know if the real Weird Al also had these altercations. At least we hope not. This is Weird Al to the nth degree in the best possible way. The only real downsides, I think, to this is some parts kind of drag a little bit and not all the jokes hit, but that's the nature of any comedy. Not all the time is it going to work, but this movie's self-aware enough to poke fun at the parts of cliche biopics that they have to hit, that they poke fun at those cliches and still keep the joke rolling and makes it flow really well. I honestly could have went for a little bit longer this movie. I think it breezed by really, really quickly. I really enjoyed this movie. It probably won't like crack my top 3 or 5 for the best of the year, but it continues to be another notch on the belt of Daniel Radcliffe of, yeah, this guy has a really diverse and interesting career post Harry Potter. He's more than just that iconic role, and I'm gonna stick to my guns here. There's a couple scenes here that I'm just going, Daniel Radcliffe, you really should be Wolverine, and I'm gonna stick with that until the day I die or until they recast him. But what'd you guys think? Did you see Weird and Al Yankovic's story? Are you a fan of Weird Al? If so, what's your favorite Weird Al song? I'll be very curious to hear that down in the comments. And as always, if you like what you see and want to see more, subscribe to the channel or check out the Uncharted Media podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Just search Uncharted Media. And as always, stay sharp, movie guys and gals.